Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. But the money I saved, thought I'd get a wax figure myself.
Bomba clot. Let's see. Mr. Producer, I got all them hoes. Mr. Producer. All right, gentlemen. Another episode of the Ultimate Market Professionals. I bet you guys thought, oh, wait, hold on a second. Christmas was yesterday. The next day, he's probably going to take off. He probably is not going to look at the charts. He's not worried about the markets right now, spending time with family, enjoying his time. Yeah, for sure. I did some of that. But you thought I was going to take today off? Like, you thought I was going to look at the charts? You didn't think I was going to take advantage of this opportunity to increase the gap on you guys? Not close the gap. You guys got to close the gap on me, but increase the gap on you guys because I'm already winning, and I want to win bigger, and I want to win better. You thought I was going to take today off? Naeem, you know better, but I know they don't know better. You think the crypto markets close? You think this is TradFi where the stock exchange has to be open from 9 to 5 and that's the only time you guys can trade? It's crypto, baby. I came here to get rich. I came here to hustle 24/7. You thought the Ultimate Market Professionals was going to take the week off. Incredible. Naeem, should I give him a banger right before we get into the charts? Because I'm feeling a little banger. Yeah, we'll give him a banger. I'm not even going to wait for you to answer, Naeem. I already know your answer. I'm going to give you guys a little unreleased, a little Juice WRLD, a little Roddy Ricch, and then we're going to pump some charts out. And I'm going to make sure I let you guys know where we're going in the markets, in my opinion. And I'll tell you whether or not it's over.
Alright, never made it right.
Ollie, get in here, buddy.
I'm these niggas' parents. It's apparent the Gucci that I'm wearing. And then McLaren got all the hoes staring. And glaring, and glaring. I'm these niggas' parents. It's apparent the Gucci that I'm wearing. And then McLaren got all the hoes staring. Glaring and watch. Now they wanna cuff me. Bitch, you're not a cop. I told her double cup me. Codeine, I can't stop. Been pouring up a lot, yeah. Dirty soda pop, yeah. I told her double cup me. Codeine, I can't stop. Been pouring up a lot. Dirty soda pop, yeah. Red bottoms bleed like a murder scene. Like the movie Scream, like the movie Scream. I'm a perk fiend, give her perk D. She got wet dreams, she can't catch me. Like a track team, I'ma run to the bands like a
It's not a surprise, Naeem. We're always hustling.
No surpassing. I'm in Cali, I don't smoke Marley, and I don't sniff Sally. But I like perks and I like syrup cause they work for me. Yellow bird, get my phone and chirp, she gon' twerk for me. Yeah, I like perks, I like syrup cause they work for me. I'ma let them do they work. I'm these niggas' parents, it's apparent the Gucci that I'm wearing. And the McLaren got all the hoes staring, glaring and watch. Now they wanna cuff me, bitch, you're not a cop. I told her double cup me.
I'm just prepping the charts right now, John. I'm prepping up the charts. So
yeah. Dirty soda pop, yeah. I told her double cup me. Codeine, I can't stop. Been pouring up a lot. Dirty soda pop, yeah.
Put a bottle of codeine inside the soda pop. And she got Molly and codeine inside the soda pop. We went to Miami just to take a load off. Seen a white bitch do cocaine and took her nose off. And my codeine top tier. I don't even gotta pop a pill. Got my dogs with me, you know how that go. Christian Dior from my head to my toes. My first year rich, spent 100 bands on my clothes. And that's no cap, I got my Porsche in the back. I get my dog 50 bands, I get a fuck nigga whack. I'm drinking codeine, I done made it out the trap. Know a lot of niggas hate it, and that's a fact. But I made it, I'm a big dog
niggas'
now.
parents,
Yeah.
it's apparent the Gucci that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And the McLaren got all the hoes staring, glaring and watch. Now they wanna cuff me, bitch, you're not a cop. I told her double cup me, codeine, I can't stop. Been pouring up a lot, yeah. Dirty soda pop, yeah. I told her double cup me, codeine, I can't stop. Been pouring up a lot.
Naeem, I know you're
pop,
banging
yeah.
this. I know you're playing this at the next Bangladeshi party you're going to. Yeah, 2 streams, Naeem. It's nothing. It's nothing to us. We're still gonna hustle. We're still gonna make money in other realms. All right, there you go. You guys got the heater. So let's pop into these charts, gentlemen. I know what you're thinking. Okay, what's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with Ethereum? What's going on with our meme coins? Are we still going to get rich? Is everything over? Are we going to 0? Are we going to 100? What's happening? All right, well, let's pop them up. So, always to provide a bit of context, we're going to go ahead and have to pull up the Bitcoin charts. Let me go ahead and do a little Mr. Producer. I got all them hoes. All right, let's see here. Okay, Mr. Producer. I'm going to hit done. Boom. And then let me do a Mr. Producer. Name, how we looking? Good? Beautiful. All right, gentlemen. Nothing to worry about, okay? Let's take a look at a couple things here. So, Bitcoin, right? The rising tide that lifts all ships. Essentially, all we're doing in crypto is trading Bitcoin, okay? So, some type of derivative of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one that moves the markets. Everything else is going to move based off of Bitcoin, okay? So, locally, you see what's happening. We're getting this, we'll look at it on the 4-8 hour time frame. We broke out of the 6, 7, 8 month range, came out, went to price discovery, and essentially what's happening is we got a pullback from its all-time high of 108,000 all the way back down to, we came back down about 92,000, right? So we came back to 92.2. Our previous low before that was 91.1. The next low above that was 92.4. And then the next low above that is 95.1, okay? So here's how we want to look at this. Yeah, does Bitcoin not look fantastic? No, but it's fine. Structurally, it's all right because we haven't been making any lower lows, okay? So we still haven't broken market structure. You see this? So every time Bitcoin sweeps lower and takes out some lows, we haven't necessarily broken market structure. You could argue that this one right here, we did come back down lower, but now we're setting higher lows again. And what we're doing here is essentially shaking people out of the market, okay? Market makers, it's an illiquid time of the year. During the holidays this week, people aren't on the markets. Markets are closed when it comes to TradFi. People aren't looking at the screens. People aren't investing. People aren't selling, etc. There's a lot less volume happening right now during the holidays because everybody takes off. So what they do is the market makers take the opportunity to manipulate the markets when they're less liquid, therefore easier to manipulate to shake people out, right? So they're trying to scare you. They're trying to make you feel like it's over. And unless you really started, breaking down further than, let's call it, this low or even this low, where are we at here? 88. I mean, unless we break down further than 88.7 and do something like this, we kind of, we come back up here and we pop down here, break down, boom, bounce, maybe come back here, resistance, break down again, boom, come back down, boom, resistance, bang, and did something like that. Yeah, that would be ugly, okay? I'll give you that. If we start breaking down past 88,000 and coming back down in here to like 85,000, 83,000, yeah, we got a problem, okay? Something's happening. Right now, though, these are minuscule pullbacks, okay? So people are getting all this bearish sentiment over this just small move from Bitcoin off the highs because, look at it. We went from 108,000 to the low after that was minus 16,000, which is about a 14.5% pullback. In the grand scheme of things in the world of crypto, that's not a huge pullback, okay? So I'm not looking at that and saying, wow, it's over. I'm scared. I'm selling all my positions. I'm de-risking. I'm actually doubling down right now. I'm actually taking the opportunity for these generational entries to go ahead and reaccumulate more of the assets that I'm convicted on. My conviction bags being what? Okay, the boys club. So Pepe, Brett, Andy, Wolf, and then some of the other ones that we talk about inside the Taylor's Code. And I'm actually going to give you guys one more publicly today that we've had inside the Taylor's Code already, but I'm going to now bring it public. For those of you who aren't inside the organization. But for the most part, those are the 4 ones that we talk about publicly. Those are the biggest conviction plays. I'm doubling and tripling down on those bags right now. Because in the history of Bitcoin, a 14.85% pullback is nothing. That doesn't mean it's over, okay? That's just a light market correction, allowing people to reaccumulate and redistribute assets. So you see something like a 14.8% pullback, everybody's losing their minds, right? Well, let me show you something here. So that was the scale of that pullback right there. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the past. Let's go on the daily time frame. Okay. In the past, how far has Bitcoin pulled back on its run-ups? Okay. Let's take a look in here. This is the last cycle. So it started running up December, Q4 of 2020 during the last cycle into 2021, which is essentially the peak of the bull run was in 2021. So let's just take a look at a couple of these pullbacks on Bitcoin and see what it did. So here's the first big pullback. So we ran up to 42,000 effectively, and we dropped all the way back down to 29,000. Look at that. That's a 30% pullback. And what do we do after that 30% pullback? Went higher. Okay, now let's look at this pullback. Okay, so it wasn't over, right? That's my point. What I was saying is, so it wasn't over after a 30% pullback. Get this shit out of here. Okay, so this is in 2020. This is the last bull run. Okay, so we got a 30% correction before we started pumping higher again. So it wasn't over then, right? Okay, let's take a look at this pullback. So from this high to this low, 26% pullback. Let's take it from this high, it's a little bit higher, to this low, 18.45% pullback. Let's take this high. This was the high in April of 21. So this was the high, the first top in last cycle. Came all the way back down to 27.5% pullback before making a lower high. So this would be the complacency shoulder. So this was the Pico top. So shoulder, head, shoulder. So this is head and shoulders. So shoulder, head. This is the Pico top. We break down. We get this complacency shoulder, which is a lower high. This is whenever you sell all your assets before the summertime, because sell in May, go away, this is May 9th, May 10th. Boom. Then we dip throughout the summertime, and then we come up and we make a second top. Okay. But what's my point? So what I'm saying is that you got a 30% correction, a 26% correction, an 18.5% correction before you ultimately got the last large correction before the complacency shoulder, which is where you sell all your assets. So you sell over here. Okay, this is what you're looking to do in the markets. You're trying to time a complacency shoulder before you get the major breakdown and then the abyss over the summertime, which is when you reaccumulate assets. So the point being is that a 15% pullback is nothing, right? We had double that in January of 21 before ultimately going how much higher. So we get this 30% pullback from this low up to this high after going up another 2.2x. So we went up another 2x plus. We doubled from the low here after a 30% correction. Okay, so it wasn't over. So you go back over here and you say, well, that was a 30% correction. This was a 26% correction. This was an 18%. What did we do over here? Oops. Get that shit out of here. What did we do over here? 14% correction. 14%. You're going to lose your mind over 14%. Guy, it was a 14% correction. That's nothing. That's normal. That shit is normal. That is a normal correction, right? This one right here, and it wasn't over. This was a 9% correction. Nothing. We can say at the top of this wick to the bottom of this wick, it was still only a 12% correction. You understand? So you can't look at this pullback and say, "Oh my God, it's over for Bitcoin. I can't believe it. This is insane. I can't. I got to sell everything. I'm going to de-risk after everything that you did, accumulating all these assets over the past year or 2 years. You're going to sell now. You're going to be afraid now. Of course not. It doesn't make sense, right? The seasonality is on our side as well. It'd be one thing if we were in a season where Bitcoin doesn't typically perform well, or Ethereum doesn't typically perform well. Then we would want to look at other scenarios, right? Like if it was May right now and you saw this happening on Bitcoin, okay, yeah, in May it typically does top out. Fair enough. That would make sense. Now we got to be a little bit more careful, look for the complacency shoulder. But we're in the middle of December. Q4 is the most bullish time for Bitcoin. And then after a large Q4, historically over the last 2 cycles, Bitcoin has at least one more massive green quarterly candle, meaning that it's going to, at least for one more quarter, outperform and do well, or do pump basically in Q1. At least. Could also do it in Q2. So I'm not in any position to look at this and say, all right, objectively, if you just look at a chart right here, right? If I told you what direction is this trend going in, 99% of people are going to say, well, looks like it's going like this, up and to the right, right? Even if you want to draw a trend line from, you know, here to there, right? Does that look like it broke down from the trend? Does that look like it's about to nuke? No, it's holding this line right here, right? This is fine. This is still an uptrend. This is pretty vertical accumulation range here. So there's nothing about this that tells me, okay, you know, we're going to nuke now, especially with the new administration that's coming in that's incredibly pro-crypto, and they themselves are accumulating crypto, right? Trump and his companies are literally buying Ethereum, buying Aave, buying other decentralized finance tokens, DeFi tokens for their own companies. You don't think that they're going to try to help pump the markets? You don't think they're going to help try to make pro-crypto legislation? Of course they will. So anyways, that's my point on Bitcoin. So you should get the point. All right, so nothing to be too worried about there. Let me go ahead and just delete all these fucking drawings. Right? And if you guys have questions, let me know. Would 88K Bitcoin signal it's over, or just going to take longer than expected? If it breaks down much further than 88,000, then yeah, I would be concerned at that point. I wouldn't necessarily be selling everything yet, but I would be looking for a complacency shoulder, see if we made the lower high on a long enough time frame and we start breaking down from there. Then yeah, I would be saying, okay, let me de-risk, let me get out of these meme coins, let me start taking profits and figure out where this market is going over the next month. But if it stays above 85 to 88,000 and bounces there and reacts there pretty well, there's nothing to be concerned about. So that's Bitcoin. So we're fine on Bitcoin. I don't see that breaking down until we get new data. So let's take a look at Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum, yeah, Ethereum took a beating here, gentlemen. So if we want to take a look at Ether on a little bit of a larger time frame, here's where we're at on ETH. Okay, so on the hourly time frame, just so you can see some market structure, we basically are having a difficult time breaking this $4,100 price target. Okay, which is right about here. You see this? We're getting a lot of resistance around the $4,000 to $4,100 price range. Okay, so let's call it right. Come on, let me get the top there. Boom. And then we got another one right about here. Let me get up there. Come on. Okay. So right about $4,100 to $4,000. That's where we keep rejecting at. Okay. So we rejected again. We broke down on this pullback. All right. You see how we rejected these lines. And we come into this new little range on Ethereum. All right. So now we're ranging on a lower time frame right in here. Okay. So we broke down. Right. We hit those resistance lines. We break back down into this, where's that, $3,200 to $3,500 range. All right. So this isn't, again, something that's hugely concerning, okay? Because we're still above this little accumulation range right here. So I can draw this out for you real quick. Oops, no, those are fibs. Excuse me. So right here, right? Call this right here. So this, we're still above this little accumulation range, right? We broke out of it, boom, with conviction. We were trending upwards, trending up. We broke back down, and now we're creating a new little accumulation range right over here. So if we get rid of this again, we're still above that previous range. And when ETH broke down here, it created this low range right in here. You got this little bear trap to basically make it look like it's breaking down even further than what it already had done. Bear trap is what people open shorts down here. So they open a short. They believe that the price is going to keep going lower. They're going to make a bunch of money and that price going lower. But what happened is they trapped them, right? They break it down out of this range. People open their shorts down here, and then they, boom, blow them out of their shorts. So they send it higher to make the people who open shorts lose money. So that's exactly what happened. They create this little bear trap, bang, pump the market back up to the top of this range. So now we've created this little range right here. And you see it is a range because the price action is respecting the mid-range right in the middle here, and then the top and the bottom of the range. So we get this bear trap. We create this low of the range right over here. Come up. We create the top of the range. Come down here. You see a little bit of green candles right in this area. Come down. We come back up. We reject off the mid-range, showing that, okay, this is a range that's being respected. We come back down here. The wicks hit the bottom of the range, so they're respecting that, come back up. We're respecting the mid-range, come back up. We reject right at the top here, come back down. All right. So as long as Ethereum is ranging within here, we're not necessarily concerned about what's happening to it, right? Because as long as it's playing in here, we're fine until it breaks out of this range again. What would be concerning for Ethereum now would be if we do get this move to the downside, to the bottom of the range, right? Right, we get this move to the bottom of the range and then did something like this. Broke down again, just like this bear trap over here, right? We break down again, we come back up, and as opposed to breaking back through up into the range and creating a bear trap, we reject off the range and we do something like this. Okay, now we're concerned. Now we're looking at Ethereum and saying, all right, well, it's going to go lower. So it's probably going to come back down into this little reaccumulation range in here between 3,000 and 3,100 or even lower, okay? Because if it's low, yeah, about 3,000. And if we don't stop there, then we're coming down even lower down into here. So back down into 2,600 to, $2,400, $2,300 territory for Ethereum. Now, I don't see that happening. We don't need that to happen. There's no reason for that to happen. And seasonally, it doesn't make sense for that to happen. But that's where I would be concerned, okay? So just to be aware of the different scenarios. In my opinion, though, the worst you're really going to get is this move right here. Where you break down to the bottom of the range again, create support again, pump back up to the mid-range, maybe we retest it one more time, boom, to the top of the range, maybe you retest the mid-range one more time, bang, and then we finally send and we break out for Q1. So that's what I'm expecting for Ethereum, something similar to that. And this time, because of seasonality, because of how Ethereum performs during Q1, when it breaks out of this range and we shoot back up to this level right here, okay, these two resistance points that we've been having trouble with, I expect us to actually break through this time and come up and test the previous all-time high, which is going to be this guy right up here. So we should break through these two resistance levels, right? Do something like this. And then come up here, right? That would be the next move on Ethereum, all right? Now, we could do fibs on that, but I'll probably save that for a chart that I post inside the Taylor's code. But the fibs will show you we're right about 4,800 to 5,000 for that next move, okay? So that's where we're at on Ethereum. I'm not concerned about it otherwise, unless we start breaking out of this little accumulation range, okay? All right. Questions. All right, we're good. All right, gentlemen. So that's where we're at on Ethereum. Now, let me also show you why it's so important not to be jeeting your bags right now and be afraid of what's going on in the markets. Because the whole reason that we're in altcoins and we're waiting for this very rare, once every 4 years, market conditions where you get this alt season, this Ethereum and altcoin outperformance over Bitcoin. The reason it's so important not to jeet your bags right now is because, oh, can you guys see the top of my screen? No, you can't. Fantastic. Is because this is when historically Ethereum outperforms. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a great chart done by Max from Because of Bitcoin on Twitter. I'm gonna pull up his chart. I'm gonna show you guys why you don't want to be cheating your bags right now. Okay. All right, you guys should be able to see this. Fantastic. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here. So this is a chart from made by Max from Because of Bitcoin. He does a really great job of illustrating information and showing what's going to happen with this next Q1 and Q2 of 2025. So people are getting afraid right now, worried about their meme coins pulling back, the Boys Club, Ethereum, all these other assets pulling back, not understanding that seasonally, this is about to be the most lucrative time to be able to hold Ethereum and meme coin beta. So, in meme coins, which are Ethereum beta. So you see here 2 cycles ago, in Q4 of 2016, the year right before the halving year for Bitcoin and the year right before the actual big blow off top in the bull run, Ethereum over Bitcoin, so ETH over BTC, we've talked about this before, signifies Ethereum strength over Bitcoin. It bled all the way into the very end of 2016, okay, which is where we're at right now with 2024, the very end of the year. We're bleeding into the end of the year. Bitcoin's outperforming Ethereum. As soon as the year turns to 2017, what does Ethereum do compared to Bitcoin? Well, it fucking rips face and outperforms Bitcoin for the next 2 quarters. That's alt season. Same thing in 2020, the halving year for Bitcoin in the previous cycle. ETH BTC bleeds and bottoms going into the end of the year, which is where we're at right now, okay? And then does what for the next 2 quarters? Parabolic. Boom. Fucking rips face, outperforms Bitcoin. So what are we doing right here for 2024? The halving year for this cycle for Bitcoin. ETH BTC bleeds into the end of the year. So if you had to guess on this chart, what's going to happen in Q1 and Q2 of 2025? How's Ethereum going to outperform Bitcoin? Will it outperform Bitcoin or will it continue to bleed? Well, seasonally, the data that we have shows us that it's actually going to rip fucking face. So when you see this, you got to tell yourself, oh, okay, now I understand that this, smaller time frame market volatility is not something to be afraid of. This is something that you want, because what it does is it gets other people to sell out of their bags, therefore allowing you to reaccumulate your bags at better prices, with better entries, with more size, then pumping the market afterwards, creating FOMO for the people who sold too early, therefore causing an even larger effect to the upside as people start to FOMO back in and things start to heat up and get crazy, and you get that mania, you get that froth in the cycles that we're looking for in Q1 and Q2 of next year. Everything gets amplified now because people are chasing their bags again after cheating and after capitulating and selling too early. Don't be that guy, right? You have this data, somebody like myself, is this 100% guaranteed going to happen? There's no way it's different this time, even though the last 2 cycles played exactly like this? No, it's not 100%, but that's a gamble I'm willing to take. I've been holding for this long. I've been accumulating for this long. I'm being completely honest with you. I don't feel the shit at all. I don't get emotional about pullbacks. I don't get emotional about red days. My portfolio probably went down about 30%, 33% in the last couple weeks. And I have a big portfolio. I have a fat fucking port. So 33% is a lot of money that went down. Did I feel it at all? Being completely honest with you, no. Because I don't feel it. I don't care. It's data. I know what's happening. I'm not going to get upset when I know something like this is supposed to happen before the best part begins. It's the same thing in sales. I'm not going to get upset when somebody tells me no whenever I give a presentation and I'm trying to make a sale, because I understand the numbers say that I'm never going to be 100% closer. So why would I lose my mind over the fact that I got a couple of no's? No, just give more presentations and there will be more yeses. There will be more sales. I can't expect to sell 100% of people. The same thing with markets. I'm not going to expect it to be up only all the time. Therefore, where's the opportunity to make money? Because everybody would just hold for forever and nobody makes money because it's just up only, right? You can only make money if you sell when you're up. So I see this and I don't even flinch. I just say, okay, fantastic. I got new opportunities to buy my assets at lower prices than what they were a couple of weeks ago. That's the way you got to look at this data. So, I see this chart and I say, all right, it's pretty fucking obvious what's going to happen. Okay. So that's what we're looking to happen in Q1 of next year. We're going to wait for Ethereum to start outperforming Bitcoin because people are going to rotate their profits from Bitcoin into Ethereum. All right. Let's come back to the charts. All right. So let's get an update on the boys club here quickly. All right. I was taking a look at a few. You know what? Actually, let's do this. Let me end with this. I'm going to give you guys a new asset. All right. So I'm going to show you just something for the short term. Something had launched recently called Pengu. This is essentially you could call it a meme coin. Basically, this is a token that has to do with the NFTs that were dropped in the past. This is a SOL token. And this asset actually dropped at a, let's see, over a $2 billion market cap evaluation. All right. And after dropping and, essentially wicking up to 7 cents, which was massive, it dropped all the way back down to 2.5 cents, and then the low here at 2 cents. All right. So this is something I'm really bullish on because this is a super well-known NFT, and the asset's already pretty massive and has a ton of liquidity in it. It's got about $23 million of liquidity in it already. I know a lot of whales and a lot of big players that are investing into this asset because they believe it's still going to be able to do a 5 to 10x, even though it dropped at a $2 billion market cap evaluation. So what I had done is I put a couple of lines on here, a couple of fibs, linear and logarithmic fibs, just to give you guys an idea of where I believe this could go. So whenever I had drawn this, it actually, you see this drawing I had made was right here. So the chart had stopped right here whenever I had drawn this. And you got a pretty clear range that's forming. So I'm going to remove this line. So ideally, obviously, you want to try to accumulate down here, or whenever we tap this mid-range and come back down in here. But this thing is respecting its range pretty well. So came up, came down, tapped there, tapped the mid-range, came back down a little bit, tapped the mid-range again, came back down, tapped the top of the range, came back down, rejected. I would start looking to either accumulate this when we come back down to around, let's see here. We can use this. Come back down to either here around 3 cents, right? And do something like this. And then finally break out. Or I would look to do something like this. If you see this start to break out of this range again, like it did right here, and you see it come up, and then retest the top of the range and come back up, then that means we're about to have a breakout. I'd be shoving right here because the next fib confluence, like I had already shown, so I'm just giving you guys free game. This is the type of stuff that I put into our private chat. Whenever we're buying and selling assets, I make these charts that show us what are the sell targets and the take profit areas, so we know when to take profit and make money. I would be looking for this fib confluence. So this is the linear 1.618. This is the logarithmic 1.618. You're looking at something in between 5 and 5.5 cents would be my first take profit zone. If you accumulate down here or maybe right here, I wouldn't necessarily take profit here. But if you were accumulating down here, or down in here, I would shave a little bit off the top right here. Would be a take profit zone, or the next range would probably form up in here, right? So then you would hit this range right here, and you probably start doing something like this before the next leg higher. Okay. So Pengu, I'm very bullish on. I know the gentleman inside of the Taylor's Code got this last week when it was lower. But I just want to share this with you guys up on the YouTube because it is a large FDV for the asset. Therefore, it's not going to rug on you. It's already well known. It's already established. It's trustworthy. It's just how high do you think it's going to go, right? Which, I have those numbers for our guys. But any questions, comments, concerns? I want to give you guys this real quick before we pop off. All right, gentlemen. So that's Pengu on Solana. Okay, so that's a Solana play for you scoundrels that like to be in the soul trenches, as opposed to just being fully in ETH beta, which the vast majority of my portfolio is Ethereum beta, just because seasonally and the point in the cycle that we're at, it is going to perform the best. But obviously you want to have your exposure to Solana as well. Okay, where there's opportunities to make money, there's opportunities to make money, and go ahead and do so. Okay, and this chart's in logarithmic mode, by the way. All right, cool. All right, gentlemen. Well, outside of that, that's pretty much all I had for you. Just want to give you an update before the weekend. Reaccumulate. Let's just wait. You want to wait to the end of this holiday week before you start making any rash decisions, because again, it's going to be heavily manipulated, the markets right now. And You can't take, you know, you can't look at what's happening in the markets right now and say, oh, this is conducive as to what the market conditions really are. No, because the market's illiquid, markets are closed, people aren't looking at their computers. It's just not, you can't be worried about price action that's happening right now. Let's wait till the end of the year, wait to see what we're starting to do into January and Q1 of next year. If things still aren't looking good, all right, we readjust. But I can tell you with a high degree of confidence, everything's going to be fine. Everything should play out the way that we planned it on playing out. Ah! 2 live streams done. Gym session already done. Quad shot espresso already down. About to do another double. About to do another meeting. About to do another 8 hours of can't tell you. Guys, this is life, baby. This is hustling. You gentlemen inside the Taylor's Code, get used to it. You want to fucking win? You want to succeed at the highest levels possible? You're going to have to do things on days where other people aren't working. Simple as that. If you're not already in the Taylor's Code, gentlemen, link is in the description. Get inside. Start to work with us. Start to make money in e-commerce. Start to make money with video editing. Start to make money with crypto. Start to make money with sales. Whatever it is that you're looking to do online, remote, let me know. Number 2, if you're already inside the Taylor's Code or you end up joining today, make sure you go into the classroom section and join the private crypto plays. That's where you're going to get access to our private WhatsApp group where we have the people that we're investing with inside. They're getting the live positional updates, the live buys / entries into the assets that we're accumulating, the live sells, when we're selling, when we're taking profit, so that you can actually make money with us. Okay. In the school, on the YouTube, you're going to only get the big assets. In the school, you're going to get the plays, but you're not going to necessarily know when to buy and sell because we're not going to have spoon feed you that. But inside the private crypto plays, that's when you get direct access to us, call us, text us. We're in a group chat. We're telling you exactly everything that we're doing. If you can't make money at that point, well, then I would just start flipping burgers. But, you know, you should be able to make a few dollars once you're in that group chat. Cool. Mr. Producer. I'm about to roll us out of here, all right? Should I throw on a banger? Do they deserve a song, Naeem? Do you think they deserve a song? Nah. Let's see. What's the like button at? Well, let me check the like button. If you guys like the stream, maybe I'll give you another song. Yeah. Could be better. Could be better. No song, gentlemen. You guys are going to have to pump up the like button next time. All right, let's go ahead and end stream. Boom. Boom.